Hello and welcome to yet another scheduled prime time telecast on NewsX. We are live as we have been for more than 5 months, and it's been a pleasure to introduce so many interesting, crucial, important voices of Team India, all of us that have to now pit ourselves into seeing what we do next as a country and as an economy. We do this, of course, in partnership with Business World. We are more than 100 episodes in, and literally hundreds of entrepreneurs, creative entrepreneurs, thinkers, startup analysts, economists, and people from within and without government to figure out what is it that needs to get the puzzle pieces. The fundamental issue of having this conversation is to introduce to you some brilliant ideas, brilliant services, brilliant products coming on all aspects of what we do, which are very much being built, ideated, created and scaled here in India. These are the people we need to back, because in this one boat we are together. Wealth creation and their success is our success. Let's get this conversation started off. Let me introduce Sanchit Govil. He is a co-founder of Lal 10. Kalyan Srivasalam, he is CEO of the 5C network, which is, I'm told, India's largest radiology network. Gentlemen, welcome to the telecast. As always, the editor-in-chief of Business World, Anurag Batra, is joining us on the telecast. Dr. Batra, if you can hear me, sir, please set up this conversation for us. Okay, we're just waiting for Anuragji's connection there to stabilize. So let me then quickly kick this off. Kalyan, can you help us understand the 5C network? What is it that you guys do for viewers who are watching this telecast?
And 5C is to use technology to help doctors and patients make better decisions during difficult moments. And there is no more difficult time than when you actually need a diagnosis and you don't know what's wrong with you. So we bring together the best radiologists, and we bring them together with hospitals and diagnostic centers who need access to these radiologists. And we add world-beating technology in the middle to make sure that we are delivering the highest quality of diagnosis, be it in South Bombay or be it in some interior part of Chhattisgarh or Bihar or Tamil Nadu.
Okay, so explain to me, how does this work? Okay, somebody needs to get some, is it all kinds of radiology help? Radiology is what? CT scan, X-ray, what is it? What is radiology?
Yes, so radiology involves everything from the simple chest X-ray and the humble chest X-ray to a complex PET CT scan. So anything that has to do with an X-ray, a CT scan, an MRI scan or a PET scan, we are the experts in India in actually reading them. And we have leading radiologists on our technology platform. So we tie up with hospitals and diagnostic centers across the country. And when patients walk into their center to get a radiology report, for over 800 centers across the country, it's actually 5C powering them and supporting them with high quality data.
Okay, so explain, what does that mean? So let's say in a certain center, an X-ray is done, okay? Yes. So is that X-ray then being put on some kind of cloud platform for somebody else who's an expert in some other city then to read that X-ray and then give their opinion on what they've seen?
Absolutely. Imagine an X-ray done in Patna, and for whatever reason that center does not have a radiologist, and radiologists are less than 11,000 in India today. So at the click of a button, our technology takes this X-ray in. We then find the best available radiologist who can read that type of case, in this case that X-ray. Okay. And we actually power it with AI. So when a radiologist looks at the case, there are already pre-generated inputs for the radiologist to make them faster, more accurate, and more consistent.
Okay, so 800 centers now. So you're offering a solution to people who are offering radiology services. What is your consumer interface in this?
So honestly, we are more B2B, but as a company, we're always looking for the patient. Right, and the diagnosis in the end affects the patient in the biggest way possible.
Okay, so in a country, Kalyan, where we are trying to digitize medical records, but we are struggling in it. I mean, even intra-hospital digitization is difficult. You can be in New Delhi and want to transfer your case from one hospital to the other hospital, and it's still physical. There's no cloud-based system. So what have you managed? What is the problem you managed to solve that can be replicated in other fields?
Yeah, so we have a platform called TRIX. We call it the Trusted Radiology Information Exchange. And so any scan generated at any of our clients can be shared using a secured shareable link, right? Just like a Zoom link. And when you click on that link, you will be it will be password protected, and then you can open your radiology images and your report from wherever you are. So while medical records are not really, like you said, like you perfectly said, they're not really transmittable yet. We are really changing that in radiology, and today we are doing over 1 lakh scans every month and providing better diagnosis and making this.
Okay, excellent. So now tell us a bit about where did you start from? Where did you get the idea? How long have you been at this?
We've now been at it for 4 years. The idea came in 2016 when my co-founder and now when my colleague then and co-founder now Syed was actually admitted into a very big hospital in Bangalore, and he had taken an MRI of his brain and spine that took over 2 days to get reported, which means 2 days of a lot of anxiety for friends and family, and 2 days where no doctor would touch the patient without the report being available. And this got me thinking about, if this problem is so massive here, it's definitely going to be exacerbated in your interior areas of the country.
Okay.
And knowing that radiology is a huge market, I knew that this was a good place for digitization and I could build a value.
So tell us about, I mean, what is the market like? You're saying you're doing a lakh scans a month. Okay. I mean, how many centers are there? You got 800. How many are there in this country?
Oh, India is huge. I mean, there are like over 90,000 radiology centers in India. And India is going to do more than 30 crore scans this year alone. And in the world, there are going to be more than 4 billion radiology scans, right? So whether you have a headache or a toe fracture or need open heart surgery, you are going to
some kind of radiology scan is happening. So you're saying 30 crore scans are being done here. You guys are doing currently at your current rate 12 lakhs a year. So it's a small percentage. So how scalable is this, both in terms of where you are already radiology and other kinds of medical testing intervention? I mean, can you do the same thing with blood reports? What can you do?
I'm really bullish about tele-diagnostics. I think, just a video call between a doctor and a patient may not be enough, but diagnostics where objective data is transferred from A to B and read by a specialist at point B is very, very scalable. So while we are definitely, already good players and big players in the tele-radiology space, there's massive scope to increase into pathology, cytology, audiology.
So now how is this then this is a business? How do you guys then, turn a revenue and turn a profit? Who do you charge?
So our charges, we charge hospitals and diagnostic centers who are our clients, and we pay our radiologists. And our whole business model is that using technology, we are able to add value in between, and we take a commission for every case.
Now quickly before I hand over to Anurag ji to have a conversation with Sanchit. So now explain to me, when you're saying value addition, so through your system, a radiologist is getting how many more cases a day, or what convenience is he getting that it makes more sense than what he was currently doing? Instead, we working through your platform.
Radiologists primarily join 5C for 2 reasons, right? The first is that they're able to be at the comfort of their homes and really monetize all the time that they have. And they have a beautiful interface to do it with. So we have radiologists who do over 50 cases a day on 5C and are earning over 2.5–3 lakhs a month. And this is really good income.
So this is is this more than what they would otherwise have done had they been physically seeing the reports in a hospital?
Absolutely. Because if you go to a hospital or a diagnostic center, you are only going to do 10–15 a day. Right? Because you're stuck there. And on 5C, India is your home. India is your playground.
Now how does it become cheaper then for the places where the tests are actually being recorded? Does it become easier for them and cheaper for them?
It does. It's much easier for them because on average, we turn around a report in 46 minutes. And it's much easier for them also because, hiring a full-time radiologist is difficult and very expensive. And we basically parallelize this whole process and give it case by case. So it's easier for them, cheaper for them, and the quality that 5C gives is the gold standard in radiology today. I'm very happy to say that.
So when do we reach the stage where currently now I'm going to take a look into blood reports, right? So now we can get, at least in major cities, your blood report comes online, Earlier you had to get a physical copy at a center, now you can get it online. You can share it online also with your doctor, but when does that become everything become cloud-based, where, it is automatically shared with my doctor, automatically is able to come to where is the future in this? Is it happening or are we far away from that?
It's in the next 2 to 3 years maximum, right? And these are problems that the internet has solved. I'm really excited about
he's really excited. Let's get Anurag Batra into this. Anurag, Sanchit Govil is with us, co-founder of Lalten. Please, introduce him, please.
Yeah, before I go to Sanchit, I want to ask Kalyan. Kalyan, in the last 7–8 months, hospital and neighborhood GPs and overall the medical centers have seen less footfall. I don't want to call it footfalls, but less visitors.
Yes.
Now, how has it impacted your business, and what is the pivot you've taken to be able to deal with, what's happened in the medical landscape?
So during COVID, the healthcare ecosystem was in the ICU.
Can you hear me, Kalyan?
Yeah, we can hear you, sir. Go ahead. He can hear you. Go ahead.
So basically what happened was that during the lockdown, our business went down by over...
Is the healthcare system out of the ICU right now?
It's getting out of the ICU, sir. It's getting out of the ICU. And what happened actually...
Is the healthcare system out of...
It's getting out of the ICU, sir.
Okay, it's getting out.
It's getting out.
Yes, I can see you. Keep going.
Yeah. So basically during the lockdown, our business fell by over 65-70% because doctors were not practicing, hospitals were closed. Since then, it's been very exciting also because all of our clients and all our new clients are depending on 5C even more, right? So after the unlock, our business has gone to 170-180% of pre-COVID levels. And hospitals and diagnostic centers are seeing even more value because we convert their fixed costs into direct costs. So they can, so if their business is low, they don't have to pay a radiologist for the whole thing. They can just, work with 5C on a pay per case basis, and we maintain the highest standards of clinical excellence. So,
thank you, Kalyan, for being in. Thank you for. Let me bring in Sanchit. Sanchit, you heard Kalyan. Tell us a bit about what you do. Tell our viewers a bit about what you do, and what has happened to your business in the last 7-8 months. How have you pivoted? What is the orbit change you've done? Sanchit Govind.
Sure. Thank you, Kalyan. Thanks for sharing your insights. Great to hear. So I am into a business of basically handicrafts. So we are connecting artisans and weavers from across the country, from different parts of India, and taking their products to global retailers. So we are an enterprise who it's operating as a B2B marketplace today, and kind of empowering different artisan communities coming from 8 states of India. So today we work with around 1,500 to 1,800 artisans and weavers across the country. We kind of empower them with design and technology in terms of scaling their product, the kind of product they're making with their own skill. And that's how we put this product across to different buyers on India and on a global level. So today we are catering to almost 300 buyers on a global level, which is almost 25% of it comes from outside India. The idea for us is that we started as an offline business, right? And when we started as an offline business, we kind of started building a lot of strength and backbone of how we can utilize artisan communities, clusters, how we can empower them, how we can actually build an ecosystem around these communities so that whatever business model comes around, right, that's something which can be a scalable model for them. And that's how, our offline journey started growing in the last 2 years. And I believe with the COVID coming in, what we realized is that there is a lot of opportunity for us to be more digitally inclusion, right? In terms of we have seen a lot of growth and a lot of potential in terms of what telecom has done in the rural parts of the country in the last 3-4 years, right? And this is something which has served as kind of a backbone for us, kind of a catalyst for us, where we have realized that we have empowered artisans to have mobile phones. Cheap Chinese mobile phones where they can utilize, they can take pictures of the product, they can actually upload pictures of the product on WhatsApp, they can send pictures to us, they can upload their details. And that is how, these people are now coming onto a digital level with us. With COVID around, I think in the last 7-8 months, what we have really focused is to push our focus more into online business, because that's how we see the business growing in terms of bringing more and more artisans, making them more enabled using our technology so that they can make their products live, across platforms at one point of time, and giving them the opportunity to reach out and access to a lot of buyers globally. So traditionally, the sector for an artisan involves a lot of middlemen and a lot of tradesmen, which are there in the local markets and in the tier 1 and tier 2 cities, right? It's a long chain that they have to suffice, which does not entitle them to get a lot of good values and prices basically for their product. And this is something that we are kind of solving with a solution where we are now directly connecting artisan to a retailer, right? And at the same time enabling the artisan to make such a product that it can be sold to markets, basically.
Understood, Sanchit. Understood, Sanchit. Now I want to ask Sanchit first and then Kalyan. When do you see the economy coming back in full bloom? When do you see the demand coming back? What is your sense? In 6 months, 12 months, or 18 months? And second, I would also like to know from both of you, what's your top lockdown lesson? First Sanchit and then Kalyan. When do you think, Sanchit, bases the numbers the products that you sell from the network that you sell, when do you see the economy coming back in full bloom?
See, I think that it would require at least a period of 6 to 12 months for the economy to come back to basically the pre-COVID levels and the last year levels. There is a lot of movement which is still kind of restrained in the offline sector today. A lot of our opportunities lies in the offline sector, but that's something which is kind of still feared by people going out for basically for a lot of shopping and people going out for leisure. That is something which is kind of affecting, the economy and business, basically, if I talk about coming back on the tracks. But I think it will take around 6 months to 12 months of time again for people to, be more inclined towards digital and online businesses, which earlier they were not, be it in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, and finally the offline sector to pick up, basically. I think for me and for us, basically the biggest lesson that the lockdown has brought is in terms of how we can better utilize and how we can better efficiently utilize our capital. I think this has made us realize that yes, there can be challenging times for any businesses and for any startups, right? Which can be which can be a more ad hoc and can actually alter the sense of the business altogether, right? And which can actually make you think about how you can pivot your models, how you can actually effectively cut down on your expenses, and kind of establish some alternative channels of revenues for the organization. So I think the biggest lesson that comes around is how we can have efficiently utilize our capital and to bring about that resource efficiency in the company.
Thank you so much, Sanchit. You're so right. For the first time, costs has to be less than revenue. Revenues have to be more than costs. It sounds so basic, but it didn't happen before COVID. Kalyan, when do you see the economy coming back in full bloom? And what are your top lockdown lessons?
Sir, I'm with pretty much with Sanchit on this one. If you really divide, the various parts of the economy, the businesses that are digital and that have personal connect with the consumers are going to bounce back and have already bounced back pretty well. But the massive offline sector is going to take a lot of time, because that is you really need to build consumer trust again from the very beginning, and that is non-trivial at this point in time. And so I'm with Sanchit. I think it's at least going to take 6 to 12 months, maybe even longer. But the economy as a whole, sir, if digital really takes off, maybe this is our opportunity to, as India has always done, to now leapfrog a bunch.
And what will make if the digital takes off, what will make the digital be the real multiplier in the economy and not be a digital divider, but be a digital equalizer or digital opportunity creator? Because we look at education, edutech, rather than bridging the gaps, is actually creating gaps, because a lot of government schools, which are more than 90% of the kind of education at a certain level, don't have access, don't have devices. So you said if it happens, so qualify what needs to happen.
So for me, the key lies in BharatNet. We already, staying in Bangalore or Mumbai, we already have access to very good internet, basic devices, etc. But the interior areas of the country still have 2 Mbps copper. And while that is good for, running a search engine and finding something on the net, you cannot stream video, you cannot even stream high quality audio on them. I think the power of India lies in the government really expanding BharatNet to every interior area of the country. And really, that is what is going to kickstart us to achieve, our status as a truly digital economy. And I've seen firsthand.
Your top lockdown lesson?
My top lockdown lesson, sir, I think the first order of business is to stay in business.
And stay afloat, get through these times.
True that.
Yes. Rishabh, back to you.
Okay, it's been a fascinating conversation as always, and we're going to have a truncated one today because I need to take a debate on the other side. But Anuragji, for putting this together, I really appreciate it. For our viewers watching this broadcast, You can check out Sanchit and his colleagues who have set up LAL 10. It is LAL 10 LAL 10. Maneet and Sanchit have come together with this in 2015. You can find them at lal10.com. Diwali season is coming. It's still not over. They've got some lovely lamps. I've been checking out their website while he's been talking, and their handicrafts and cushion covers and even furniture I see over there. So it's good gifting opportunity for Diwali. And if you know or happen to run one of the neighborhood radiology clinics, well, you've just been introduced to Kalyan. He's offering a solution to make your life a bit easier and get you better diagnostics. As always, please do check out Business World and keep watching NewsX. Before I take a break, I'm going to thank the gentleman.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.